It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's Geno Jones Showtime. Hey, what's happening, everybody? So I'm coming to you a little later. I told you on Monday, yesterday, we had a special start time. Now, look, don't start with me. Shut up. I said start time, 7 o'clock-ish. You all just didn't hear the ish. Wait a minute, Geno. We'll go back and play the video. I didn't hear you say ish. I said it. You just didn't hear the ish. You just heard the 7 o'clock part. But it's okay. We're live here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. It is the Geno Jones Show special start time because I got a very special guest. You've seen him. He's a friend. He's a family member of the Geno Jones Show. Full disclosure, he is family to me. He's family. To me, I consider him a brother. We just didn't come out of the same womb, and I've had the honor to know this man for almost 20 years. You've heard me brag on him. You've heard me wish that he would have been the police chief in Chicago. Police Chief Reggie Burgess, who yesterday he launched his campaign. He's going to be my guest coming up we'll say in a couple minutes, so stand by. All right, please subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all of my back episodes, including last night was fire, because I had to check the folks that was coming for the young black women at LSU, and they tried to come for the sisters, the Lady Gamecocks, the University of South Carolina. Really, they were coming for all black women. So go back. That's must-see TV. Go back and watch that monologue, because it was straight fire. I do stand up. I'm a comedian also, but it was all fire. You know, it was some humor in there maybe, but it was the truth. You know, there's a saying. There's an element of truth in every joke, virtually. So since I'm talking about that, let me just say this. So I saw the word Dr. Jill Biden, who, full disclosure, I got a chance to meet when President Biden came to South Carolina, when black women basically resurrected Joe Biden's campaign. His campaign was on like life support. It was on a ventilator. And black women primarily, black people in general, but it was led by black women and their activism and getting their nephews and uncles and sons and husbands and side pieces and boyfriends and sugar daddies and everybody else to make sure that they got their ass out and voted. Black women really saved this country, maybe the planet, because they saved Joe Biden's campaign. So I got a chance to meet Dr. Biden, who's a very wonderful, pleasant woman. So when I heard this story and I get it, that Dr. Biden was, I believe, in Colorado, and they were asking her about the Final Four game because she was there and she got the chance to see all four teams play. And she was talking about, she's looking forward to LSU coming to the White House. Because, you know, there's a tradition, if you win a championship, when the Golden State Warriors won their championship, the Golden State Warriors came to the White House. When the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I don't know if they've come to the White House yet, they will be at the White House. The Houston Astros won the World Series. The Houston Astros go to the White House. So Dr. Jill Biden was saying, I'm looking forward to the LSU women's basketball team. She said, but you know what? It was that game, the championship game, the Iowa basketball team, they play so well. I'm going to ask you, maybe we should invite them too. Hold on, Dr. Biden. I know you didn't mean no harm, but let me just explain something to you. You really insulted those young ladies, those young African-American young women, Angel Reese and all of her teammates. And not only did you insult those young women who beat the brakes off Iowa and who earned a national championship in college basketball, but by proxy, whether you know it or not, I got a feeling that somebody kind of pulled your coat. As my grandfather had a saying, let me pull your coat. that means he needed to tell you something you needed to hear. Or my grandmother would say, your slip is showing. That meant that you needed to check yourself before you wreck yourself. So, Dr. Biden, you really disrespected those young ladies that played for Louisiana State University, LSU, by saying, well, we should invite both of them. No, that's never happened. All right? Jalen Hurts played his ass off in the Super Bowl, but the Eagles lost. Y'all didn't invite the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to the White House because they didn't win. The Boston Celtics, they balled out in the NBA Finals last summer. But you didn't invite the Celtics. You invited the Golden State Warriors because they won. You didn't invite the Philadelphia Phillies. And I hear you're from that area, so I know you were a Phillies fan, but you didn't say, well, let's invite the Phillies and the Astros to the White House because the Phillies didn't win the World Series. So no, in my heart, Dr. Biden, I don't believe that you intended to do that, but by proxy, not only did you insult those young black women who earned a championship, you really insulted all black women, and I would say a significant number, most black men like myself too. And just remember, it was black women that saved your husband's campaign. And it'll be black women who will lead the charge with black men like me right by their side that's going to make sure that your husband gets elected. Plus, y'all not going to win Iowa anyway. Let's be honest. Y'all probably not going to win Louisiana because you didn't win it the last time. You know, Louisiana's MAGA country. Iowa's kind of like soft. So y'all not going to win Iowa. So no. So don't piss off your most loyal voters trying to appeal to a state that ain't going to vote for you. Don't do that. All right? Because we need your husband back in the White House, and then we can talk about it later. Speaking of talking, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me introduce him at the beginning of the show, so I'm just going to bring him on camera right now. He is currently still the police chief of the city of North Charleston, South Carolina for probably, I think, about another 3 weeks or so. You see him on camera right there. And yesterday, he officially launched his campaign for mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you Police Chief of the city of North Charleston, candidate to be the next mayor of the new city of North Charleston, South Carolina, Reggie Burgess. Chief!
Geno Jones, how you doing, my brother?
So it's chief for now, for I guess till November 5th, and it'll be mayor-elect Burgess.
Well, it'll be chief until May 1st, and then when I walk out the door, then you will be calling me retired chief, and then November the 7th with the citizens, and and most importantly with God blessing. Hey, we're going to run this table and get these votes and go ahead and take what God has given us. And I'm so thankful that the Lord is in my heart, in my life. And I'm so thankful that it's people like you and the citizens that's out there that's watching this show, and citizens that are working, that feel that they can trust me, enough to take on that responsibility as mayor of North Charleston. Thank you. Thank you.
So Chief Burgess, this is what I wanted, because we always have conversations. I tell people, look, I'm an entertainer. Some may say a commentator. I'm just an entertainer, and I use humor to educate and inform and enlighten, and hopefully inspire and motivate. But if you don't mind, I would love for you just to let the viewers know who is Reggie Burgess, because I love the conversation, and I love that you were who I've known you to be for virtually 20 years, and you are just so authentic, which is you. You're always just you. There's nothing phony about you. You couldn't be phony even if you tried. But the fact that you were just you were just so honest and open and authentic with your emotions, and it touched everybody, including me, because we have somewhat of a similar story, and I think it's so important that people and voters really get to know the Reggie Burgess that I know, not just professionally, but personally. And you were so generous and open with your emotions. If you don't mind, share as much of that story as you want to let the people watching now who is Reggie Burgess, which will explain a lot about why Reggie Burgess is running for mayor.
Yeah, Geno. I guess I can't sum it up into one word. Like some folks can say, well, this is who they are.
Use as many. Hey, let me say this, Chief. Take as many. It's my show, so you can take as many words. You don't have no word count, so you can use as many words as you
want. well, it's to me. I guess it was, man. It's the song says one of my favorite gospel songs. It said, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I have a testimony. And that song hits my lineage deep because, I was born in 1965, right at MUSC. I was a child of a woman that was born in the late 30s, and her parents died. My biological mother's parents died when she was an infant, so she never saw her parents, and I never, I know who my grandparents were, but I never saw them, never had any pictures on them. And they actually were raised by a grand aunt of mine. But when I came in the world, my biological mother had 3 other boys that were older than I was. And because she had really no backing and no substance of anybody to help along the way, she would, place us with families from the community that I'm actually originally from, Union Heights. And so all 3 of my brothers were strategically placed with families that she knew. And then when I came in the world, the mother who is my mother, who raised me, she was 17 years old in 1965. And she would go over to my biological mother's house on the weekends to clean up, to, make a little bit of money. That's what they did. They clean, they wash, they mop and wax, dust and wax. And that's how they did. They made a little extra money. She was a young girl. She was in high school. She was a junior in high school. So that particular day when I was coming into the world, my biological mother and my mother who raised me, at the time, she was a friend, went to the hospital together, and I came into the world. And at that time, my biological mother was sick, and she could not come home then. She had to keep her in for a couple of days. Well, back in those days, in the 60s, if the baby was healthy, then the hospital said, okay, somebody can take the baby home, because if not, they had to care for the baby, and that was more resources that they had to use. So they told then my biological mother's, I guess friend or housekeeper, that you need to take the baby with you until, but Dolores, my biological mother, is able to leave the hospital. So lo and behold, from 1965 to 2023, my mother never let me go. She was 17 years old. She actually was living on Union Heights on, I think she was on Arbutus at the time. And she was raising somebody else's child at 17. And to a point where having an extra mouth in the house, my mother had to quit school because she had to work an extra job. And then it was told to her by some family members that you need to take that boy back. That's not your responsibility. You need to, because you need to get a third job. And my mother was actually working at 2 restaurants after school. Wow. And then on the weekends, she would go to Mount Pleasant. And, back then they only had that 2-lane bridge or whatever. And she would go there and she would knock on doors, She would knock on doors and say, I will wash your clothes, fold your clothes, and dry your clothes and fold them. or she would, mop and wax their floors, or wax their furniture. Anything that she could do at 17, 18 years old to make money to provide for somebody else's child. And she did that. And, I remember when my brother came in the world in 1968. And I remember he was probably like 2 years old. So that had to have been like 1969, 70. My mother worked at a restaurant right there on Rivers Avenue. It was called the Howell House. It's right across from Wendy's south. And it's the Arabian Temple now. Well, what happened was my mother, because she couldn't afford a babysitter, and we were living on the projects, used to be George Degree, the real projects, not the make-believe projects, the real projects. My mother would take us to work with her because she couldn't afford a babysitter. And I remembered, and I could see it vividly, I could hear the pots rolling, and she would cook. She was the main cook, and she would cook and everything. And I keep hearing this bell, ding, ding, ding. And that bell was whenever the food was ready to be served, she hit the bell and put it up to the little small window, and the waitress would get it and take it out to the client. But what really got me, that didn't bother me, because as long as I was with my mother and my brother, I was fine. But what really kind of got me thinking, and the question I had to ask my mother when I got older, was my mother would put me and my brother under the opening side of the sink, where it was wide open. She put us in boxes, and she would have old quilts that my great grandmother had made. The ones that they just make out of old clothes. And she had that in the box, and she had like a pillow. And we my brother and I would sleep there while she worked the second shift. Wow. So she came in at 3 p.m., worked that shift, and then she would work the night shift because we had a lot of truck drivers coming in at night. And so, it was cool because I was with my moms. And I when I was like in high school, I said, Mom, I remember when you used to take us to the restaurant. And she said, yeah, son. So Mama wasn't going to leave y'all with a babysitter because I couldn't afford it. She said, so I asked the management, and they allowed me to bring y'all because she was the main cook. Wow. But I remember I said, Mama, when you used to have the boxes, it was hard for me to climb because I was a pretty good climber. And I said, you did something with the boxes. I couldn't climb on it that easy. So my mama, I'm thinking, and I said it to her really gingerly because you didn't make my mom mad now. So I said it real nice and cordial. So my mama said, son, and I don't want to get emotional at this point in time, but I got to be real here.
Be you, brother.
My mama said, the reason why you couldn't get in those boxes anymore just by climbing into it, because I had to take the gigantic cans of food that the restaurants bought and served. She would put 4 on each box to lift the box up off the floor, because when she was cooking and washing dishes at the same time, rats would come in and bite through the cardboard boxes and bite me and my brother because, they smell milk or whatever. Wow. So she said she lifted the boxes off the floor with the canned goods. And I'm sitting there, Geno. I said, the woman sacrificed her own life to raise me first. Gave up everything that she could have had or could have been for somebody else's child. Then she had to leave out of her house that she grew up in because she would not give her son up. Then she goes and get an apartment. We never had food stamps, but we lived on housing. She wouldn't accept food stamps because she would rather work, but she had to take housing. And then she would put us under the sink in boxes with coats to keep an eye on us, so she wouldn't have to worry about paying a babysitter that would have taken food of our mouths, the money. But she thought so much of us, Geno, that she knew that even a rat could harm her boys. And I'm sitting back and I said to myself, man, if that ain't the ultimate sacrifice, what is? So when I was out there, that's what I'm saying. That's who I am. I'm Reggie Burgess from Union Heights. Daniel Jenkins Projects, Joseph Green Projects, and Liberty Hill. A proud man to say that I love those neighborhoods, because when I grew up in those neighborhoods, they taught me everything I know now. I love the people there. I love the environment. That's why I go there every week. I'm riding on Union Heights tomorrow just to ride through, you know what I'm saying, and see the old hood. I'm going by Horizon Village. I went by there last week just to cruise through to see the old Georgia Green. And I was on Liberty Hill today, you know. So that's who I am. But who I really am, I'm a child of God. Because to go through what I went through and what my mother sacrificed to get me through, there's nothing else but God that did that, Geno. Nothing else. Now, out of the four boys that my biological mother had, I'm the only one that was officially adopted. The only one.
Wow.
I was the only one because my mother, I asked my mother when I was 10 years old, Mama, why is my name different than your last name? And she said, only because you know, we hadn't gone to a judge. And so I said to my mother, why can't my name be like your name? And she said, it can, son, if you want it to be. I said, Mama, how do we do it? She said, we got to go in front of a judge to get you officially so you can become my son. And Geno, at 10 years old, I remember going down to Charleston County Court.
Wow.
All I can remember is being there, and I saw this white guy with a dark overcoat on, which is a robe. And he was sitting there, and my mom was sitting right by me holding my hand. And you saw me hold my mom's hand yesterday. That same feeling that I got at 10 years old, I got at 57 years old when I hold a woman's hand. I feel comfort. I feel safety. I feel joy. And I feel sacrifice. And that guy said to me, I never forget this, Geno, I was 10 years old. He pointed at me. He said, young man? I said, yes, sir. He says, so you want to be that woman's child? I said, yes, sir. He says, you want your name to change? I said, yes, sir. He said, he pointed, he said, well, who is that woman sitting by you? I said, that's my mom. I said, that's my mom. And he hit the gavel. Man. So it is. For the rest of your life, you will be her son. And I tried, Geno, for many, many years to make her proud of me. I tried for many, many years.
You've
But
done
I'm still
that.
trying.
No.
I'm still trying, Geno, because just like your mother,
Yeah.
you and I have an opportunity that others don't have, Geno.
Yeah.
And that opportunity is to give our mothers roses while they are here. And that's why I try. I call my mother every day. I go by to see her when I can. I'm always talking to her because I want to give it to her while she can feel it. I want to give it to her while she can see it. Because my goodness, Geno, if the Lord would have never placed her where she was at, I wouldn't be on your show today, son.
Well,
I wouldn't be.
You know, we've had a lot of conversations off camera, but our story is not exactly the same, but there are a lot of similarities in your story and my story and the bond you had with your mother and the bond that I had with my mother. But I appreciate you sharing that story because now you all get to see where the compassion, the empathy, and the humanity that this man brought to being the police chief, and his mission was always about serving the community, serving all communities, but making sure that he served the communities that were the people that looked like him and me, because those communities were always underserved and still underserved and neglected and taken for granted of and abused and used. We know the history. We don't have to talk about it. But he never forgot where he came from. But he always had compassion and empathy, and still has compassion, empathy, and humanity for any and everybody. And I mean any and everybody. So we got about a minute and a half. So let me just say this. You got a permanent home. So listen, you could come on. We can have, just ask Chief Burgess, ask mayoral candidate Burgess once a week. We can do a regular segment weekly on this show if you like. You already know that. But with the minute I have left, just tell people why you want to run and where they can go and support your campaign.
I want to run for mayor because this is my city. I was born and raised here. I have no love for any other city like I love North Charleston. Yeah, we're the blue collar town, but we have a white collar mentality because we know how to grind and get the work done and make money to take care of ourselves. And I have no problem with actually seeing exactly, what our city has, where it's at, and where we could go take it to, and how we can continue to do that. Our city is the #1 city for retail sales for 20-something years. We have the only city in America that builds high-end airplanes, Boeing, and high-end cars in the same city. We have so much to offer. We're the center plate of the Tri-County area. But what we are trying to do, especially in the police department with the city council members' support and the mayor's support, we have to really look strategically and be honest with ourselves. If we do not work on our challenged communities and help to improve those challenged communities, then we would never be able to say that we are an all-American city. And if you look up the definition for all-American city, it basically talks about government working with the citizens to actually find innovative ways to work to bring a better condition for all communities and sustain that condition while looking at other best practices or other cities for other innovative ways to make that city even better. I was an All-American football player at Morgan State University. That's what Reggie Burgess wants us to be. I want North Charleston to be an All-American city, and it's not hard for us to do it because we're already halfway there. We just got to buy into it and realize that we can't take half the city or more than half the city and claim it to be, improving and better. It has to be all.
I love it. Chief, we got about 30 seconds before I lose your live shot. Listen, I'm going to bring you on. If you got time, you can come back next week and we can talk policy, but I just wanted you to let people know who you were. Less than 30 seconds. Let everybody know where they can go support your campaign or get some more information right now.
Geno, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, so I'm going to send you that website so you can share with everybody. Because it's a long website, and I don't want to misinterpret that website. Okay?
I got you. And like I tell Allie and Boogie, when I say I got you, you know what that means, right?
Yep, you got me.
I got you. I love you, brother. I'm not ashamed to tell the world. I love you, man. Thank you. Chief Reggie Burgess. He's just really a good dude. Honored to be able to call him family and call him a brother. DNA don't make you family. DNA don't make you a parent. Not at all. So the chief will be back on many times. And we invite his opponents, all those who are running for the mayoral seat. You're welcome to come on the show, and we'll give you your time in the spotlight, in the sunlight. So just reach out to me, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Leave me a message here at YouTube. Happy birthday, Miss Jill Scott. Jilly from Philly. My girl Jill Scott's 51 today. Miss Kelly Price, 50 today. And happy heavenly birthday on this day in 1928. Marguerite Annie Johnson. You're saying, wait a minute, who is Marguerite Annie Johnson? Maya Angelou was born on this day, 1928. Heavenly birthday queen. She became an ancestor. She joined the ancestors back in 2014. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all of my back episodes. I come to you live normally, always Monday through Friday, normally 6:30. Now, once again, Thursday, tomorrow, Wednesday, regular time, 6:30. Thursday, a special early start time, 3:30, as opposed to 6:30, because I'm going to be emceeing and hosting, doing a live broadcast. The movie New Jack City is now a play starring my man Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Shout out to Tretch. You got the original G Money, the brother that played G Money in the movie. CMB, Nino, CMB, Nino, I hope you built this. CMB, I am my brother's keeper. Alan Payne was bad in that role. So Alan Payne is actually playing G Money in the play like he did in the movie. Also Flex Alexander, Gary Dourdan. So it's going to be an amazing play when it comes to your city. As a matter of fact, we're going to get Tretch is going to be a guest on the show. He can talk about the play because it's going nationwide. It's killing. You're going to love it. So Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, special start time of the Geno Jones Show on Thursday. All right, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina, Metro Goose Creek, South Carolina. Kel B cutting up, as you see, just got from the chair to the camera. And you can find him on Instagram, and that's how you can find him. Kel B cutting up on Instagram on IG, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones is the drip director. She's the official fashion designer, wardrobe consultant for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her out on Instagram, IG, LX.NCL underscore is that little dash, like down at the bottom. So that's LX.NCL underscore. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram also. Miglio D Mario Uomo. That's MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. Thanks for watching, everybody. Shout out to everybody watching me live. Randall Reed, I see you there. You want to volunteer for Reggie Burgess's campaign? Google Reggie Burgess for mayor. If you Google that, it will take you. I do believe the website is up. I saw the commercial. The first campaign ad is amazing. It is the best political ad that I've seen since President Barack Obama's "Yes We Can." If you can remember that campaign, "Yes We Can." will.i.am did the music. This ad for Chief Burgess is as good as President Obama's "Yes I Can" political his campaign ad. So you'll be seeing it soon enough, and you will be seeing it here on the Geno Jones Show on a regular basis. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Your boy Orange Hitler got indicted today, arrested. Enough said. Until Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.